Hey y'all, it's Bree with Reads and Rituals, and I'm back with the reading. So, today's reading, usually I write out the titles before I'm going to film, so I have like something to go off of. But basically, I remember now. It was like the soul contract, your ex-lover slash false ex-twin flame broke the soul contract. Now what? So in the pre-shuffles we got Eight of Cups, Strength in Reverse, and Ten of Swords. So you had to walk away, Divine Feminine, because your ex false twin flame, decided to not grow. They chose the dark side. We got Two of Cups, Two of Swords in reverse, and Knight of Wands. They know who you are now, but it's basically too late. And now you're on your own journey of self-healing and self-discovery. So I was watching this channel earlier. We got Two of Wands. So I was watching this channel earlier, speaking of the Two of Wands, and it was about, one of those myriad of channels about, which thankfully that is out now, about the narcissist empath paradigm. And the lady was talking about how, like the healing process definitely takes years, and I'm sure like many of us have known this, but specifically with narcissism, and now it's just it's a thing now, it's a niche, and there's different types of narcissists, and either way, like the blows that you can suffer, being on the receiving end, of course, I've heard, empaths are narcissist magnets, and either way, how the empath slash codependent is acting is from like a flawed or manipulative stance as well, but it's more authentic and not harmful as what the narcissist is doing. Like basically it's two things in each person, that it's like a thing in each person that needs to be healed, but like from the empath's perspectives, from the empath slash codependent perspective, it's like, it's not harmful. Mainly it's something within themselves about independence, and it's like it's mirrored, but it's equal and opposite mirroring. But with the narcissist, it's just very harmful, very like evil, and the empath is usually like the good side of things. There's a black and white, there's a duality to everything in the universe. And yeah, so anyway, so what she was talking about was that she was like, she didn't even say 1 or 2 or 3 years. She was just like, give it 5 years, give it 10 years. And when I first heard that, I was like, what? Give it 5 years, give it 10. Like, and she was talking about how she's been on this journey. Now she has a new spouse, but she had to go through, she said, at least 3 to 4 narcissists after her main narcissist ex-husband that she went through this with. She still met 3 to 4 other narcissists after. So, and I was seeing a lot of things in the comments about how we just, empath. I said we because I identify as a empath as well. How we just keep running into narcissists. But now, then, like after like meditating on what she said, I was like, okay, now I see what she means, because a lot of us could have been on healing for like a while now. People are telling us these same answers, like, oh, self-love, self-care, self this, do this, do that, and and I feel like divine feminine. Let's go back to the collective. So spirit. Oh, I didn't even get my pulse on too. Spirit. That's cue for me to get the pulse on too. Let these messages for the collective be authentic and what we all need to hear. Let's see, bottom of the deck, we got the Empress. So anyway, before I get the Palo Santo, you know, you've been on this journey for a while. And you're like, I'm doing all this. I'm doing the self-love. I'm doing the self-care. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm going to therapy. I'm working on myself. I'm meditating. I'm, you know, branching out in society. Like, I'm back working. I'm back in school. I'm back, you know, around, you know, family and friends who actually care. I'm setting boundaries. So it's like you're already doing what needs to be done with the Empress at the back of the deck. But what I'm hearing, especially after hearing from her, and I just been thinking about this subject, usually when I make a video, I like ponder about it. I just get the message from, you know, spirit, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to talk about? And it's like, this is going to take longer than you thought. You know, it's not like this type of relationship was a catalyst, you know, and I'm using that word because it's what I hear often in the community, the collective of divine feminines and divine masculines, that, you know, meeting the narcissist as an empath was your catalyst to growth. It wasn't like other relationships you've been in where 4 to 6 months, 1 to 2 years, you're done. Like, you're on to the next. Like, whether you're dating on to the next or just on to the next in general, it's like, regardless of whether you're single or you're dating, it's like, you still have not been like, you still don't feel like you've made a lot of like, progress. Like, you're like, dang, I'm still like scratching the surface. Like, it's a huge rabbit hole of healing with this narcissism stuff. Like, it's like, I mean, this is like a worldwide thing now. Like, this is just something that's just emerging. And, you know, and I've even seen people in the comments who are like of older generation, and they're like, you know, I went through this, but like, there were no terms back in the day for this. With technology and just how things have been progressing, and just like the less stigma that there is to like mental health and relationships, and just unveiling the family dynamic or unveiling relationships dynamic that happens, you know, behind the scenes, you know, coming to light. It's like, this stuff has always been existing, but it's now being like taught, and we're healing and progressing, and there's different terms, and we've now been able to put it in language format because there was no words to describe what the idiosyncrasies of, like, some of this stuff is just so, like, you can't put it into words. And I'm just so thankful that, you know, there is this stuff being out there, and I'm just also here to shed light on this journey, and that, you know, we know healing is not linear, blah, 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 but it's like, I don't know, there's just no words. But anyway, that's time for me to get the Palo Santo. So, Spirit, I just would like to cleanse this space. Only love and light energy. Thank you so much for allowing me to channel the most accurate messages for the collective that are meant to see this message. It's not really smoking that much, but all right, so let's get it. I feel like I'm at a slow start, and Excuse me for drinking out of this carton, but I got my probiotic juice that I'm drinking out of a carton. I'm used to drinking like large drinks anyway. Like when I go to Starbucks, I get the Trenta. When I go to the smoothie shop, I get like the largest size, and I'm just used to just having cartons or large cups. I don't even know why I'm saying all that, but anyway, the girl gets thirsty. Let's see. Anyway, I had this gold deck out. So yeah, we got the Empress at the back of the deck. Oh wow, the sun just flew out sideways. So yeah, you could be in this period where like, you know, you made a lot of progress in your healing, but it's like you're just scratching the surface. There's just so much more to navigate, and it's like this coming to this period of acceptance. So yeah, back to the title. Let's just, you know, your ex-lover / false twin flame broke the contract, broke the soul contract. Now what? And you know, it's advice from spirit, you know, and it's like you're not happy, you're not sad. You know, maybe you could be feeling like apathy, like indifference. You got the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Moon in reverse, Two of Pentacles in reverse. So you could be feeling like, you know, everything that you're doing, it's like, what's the, you know, there has to be a means to an end, okay? And it's kind of like, but I just feel like this is like where you map out, you know, your new life, and that's something that you've already been doing. You've already had this you've already had this new beginning. I almost said so-called new beginning, but it is a new beginning. And because like I said, it's not like any of your other beginnings. Like this really has been the catalyst. Like your spiritual awakening, you could have gone through, what is it, that 5 stages of alchemy or whatever it's called, where you're in the void, and I forgot, it was like the 5 stages of, I think the 5 stages of spiritual awakening. And I know that one of them is the void. And there was this one channel I used to watch where she talked about that. Knight of Swords in reverse. You're like, what else is there to know, discover? It's like at this point, yeah, like there's nothing really else in particular to know or discover. It's just like at this point, just keep putting one foot in front of the other and appreciating the present moment, you know, and practicing mindfulness and just being in the present. And I feel like that's the lesson, is just being in the present, because you've already learned from your past, and now it's like, but then you don't want to get too bogged up about the future either. It's like healing really sometimes is just being. Yeah, we got the Hermit in reverse. So it's kind of like you're like, okay, I see the light. Like I'm doing what I have to do, but maybe, yeah, like you're thinking like it's not fast enough or something. And I feel like I'm, you know, going in circles a little bit. But yeah, it's like I'm just trying to clarify every which way. Like the woman said, give it 5 years, give it 10 years. Now I'm not saying it's gonna be like 5 years, 10 years for everybody, but you know, she was just like, I've been on this journey for, you know, 20 something years, and she met 3 to 4 narcissists after. And honestly, it really seemed like when I heard that, like I kind of got like this calmness just come over me, and I felt like I was getting this knowledge, like not just for myself. Like she would, you know, she speaks to her audience as well, and even though like she's speaking off of anecdotal evidence, like it's been like for the collective, I feel like it's true to some extent, because even after we've encountered the narcissist in our adulthood. And of course, it all stems from childhood, from the first 7 years. And you're growing up and your brain is absorbing all this information, and a dysfunctional household. Okay, check, we got that. But then it's like in adulthood, and then, who your main partner is, who was your catalyst, ends up being like a more, for lack of a better term, evolved narcissist. Like they're like more of a bigger boss, because like back then, you really didn't know because you were a child, and now you're an adult and you still don't know, but you have but like because you're older, it's like that's your first take at it, if you will. And so now it's like, okay, then you kind of go through a series of tests before you meet your healthy person. Because it's like, and I even saw this one comment where, once again, a lot of this is anecdotal evidence, like people just saying their experiences, and then it's starting to become a fact the more people that either validate or invalidate, blah, blah, blah. And so they were like, it's 9 empaths to every one narcissist, 9 to 1. So no, I think I said it wrong. It's reversed. It's 9 narcissists to every 1 empath, which is why we're so rare. Because I used to be like, why can't I come across any other empath? Like, why is it so hard to like come across another empath, right? And it's like a lot of empaths have this issue where like we can find them online communities, or like far away, or we may meet them in passing, but it's not anything that sticks. And I used to ask the universe, like on my own stuff, like even when I was, because I've had other tarot channels, and I'm like, okay, yeah, and it's like more narcissists than empaths. And so it's like when a narcissist does encounter an empath, that is their catalyst, because they've gotten away with their narcissistic tendencies, the majority of their life, or like a good part of their life. And that empath, even, we think, like empaths think it's all about, I don't know, they think it's all about them, for lack of a better term. Narcissists think it's all about them, but in our victimhood, but we're not victims. But I'm just saying, like in the narcissist empath thing, they're like the perpetrator, and then the narcissist is like the prey. And it's like, what was I trying to say? We got 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, the empath is the person who brings that ego death. There we go. Because usually, they say narcissists have sources of supply, okay? And the empath, and that when the narcissist comes across the empath, that ends up usually being like that narcissist's greatest source of supply. So when the empath finally leaves, it's like an ego death. Whether they want to believe it, whether they want to think it or not, that's the ego death. And that's why all the smear campaigns happen, the hoovering, the this, the that, because like they never like, and that's why I've heard it so many times, like they're usually not going to come across someone like you. I'm not saying they're not going to ever encounter another empath, because I'm like, okay, if the empath keeps attracting narcissists, because there's more of them. And I think what happens with the narcissist is like, and this is just my opinion that I'm channeling, like they just have their other regular sources. They just get another source of supply, and then you just end up being like cemented in their mind as they meet their next few partners. I don't even know if I feel like, sometimes there is chances for redemption, but I think that's according to like astrology, as far as the planets, and like karma, like the universal law. I feel like is like who would determine, or what would determine a narcissist redemption. But I feel like for the empath, it's more skewed in their favor because of like the nature of the energy, because I feel like love overpowers fear. And I feel like a lot would agree with that. And anyway, so how this relates to the twin flame collective alchemist journey is that in spirituality, you know, you have this thing called shadow work, inner child work, things like that. And the narcissist is like the dark side of it. But the thing is, a lot of things is like, it's like that whole thing, like once a narcissist, always a narcissist. I don't really know, especially since there's more of them and less empaths. I'm not really sure about them really redeeming themselves, and like, you know, they would really have to do it for them. Like for them, like it couldn't be for like anybody else. You know, like you can't change people. It's just that whole thing. Like a narcissist, like I know like there's that one channel with the one narcissist guy who now has a channel educating about narcissism, like something like that. Like it would have to be that person. But then that's what they call the narcissistic collapse, where like they would have to take accountability and like face all their wrongs, and that's a lot for someone to do. But then on the other side, it's a lot for an empath to break the cycle of codependency, because a lot of people are just trapped and they don't know how they're going to get out, and the brain is just so accustomed to dysfunction, and regulating the nervous system through that dysfunctional way, that, you know, it's a dark side to both, you know. And that's why I hear that often, like it's not easy being either one, but I'd still rather be on the empath side of things 100% than be a narcissist. But I feel like a lot of times the narcissists can't see, but then they can see, but it's like they're so far into their shadow side. Because we got the hangman. I feel like the hangman, ace of wands in reverse. So this is like your ex-lover. So we got the hangman upright, ace of wands in reverse. So like they're the hangman because they're aware of all their faults, yet they don't want to take that new approach to take accountability. Queen of swords in reverse and the emperor in reverse. So they end up being this emperor in reverse, and I feel like I keep seeing this for like the divine feminine has to be the queen of swords in reverse, but it's not even necessarily in the fact that she's like outwardly like lashing out or anything like that. It's just like the setting boundaries. I feel like it's really the setting boundaries and the distance which is causing the divine feminine to be in this queen of swords in reverse energy, because like either way, the empath does not want to, neither one of them want to let go of each other, okay? And that also, you know, and this thing with codependency, the narcissist is codependent on the empath. The empath is codependent on the narcissist because of how each person grew up. We attract each other to each other, and then that's when that whole thing happens. And then, you know, then the narcissist or the empath tries to save the narcissist, but then it's really to just for them to give them the validation that they've been seeking. So it's not even like the empath is really an angel, but they just are on the good side of karma is what I'm trying to say. Either way, so yeah, that's where I'm going to stop there. Page of Wands in reverse, it's like they're not wanting to learn. And so there comes a time in the empath that they can't take it anymore. Everyone has that breaking point, divine feminine, of where like it's too much. You know, we got the Three of Cups in reverse, third party situation, the narcissist basically never being satisfied, aka your ex-lover / twin flame who you encountered and had this spiritual awakening with. You know, now that you are gone or about to leave or whatever, you know, they realize what they've lost, but then it's like they're in regret. But, you know, I keep seeing it time and time again, the reason why the narcissist is in regret is because they got caught, not because they actually care and have empathetic feelings toward you, and has the emotional availability / maturity to handle you properly. So yes, it really is a lesson in that relationship. And you may still not even be aware of the total lesson, because, you know, anecdotal evidence has also shown. We have 8 of Swords, yeah. You know, you could have been told, Divine Feminine, like, yes, this is a lesson, you gotta, but I feel like the whole lesson and the collective itself is the same, but to your situation in particular, that lesson is more, of course, unique to you and your situation and your life story pertaining to your growth. So you have 3 of Pentacles, you're rebuilding. And then in this one, we got 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, this person, the empath narcissist relationship, it doesn't work. There's no way that it could work. And if there's a long-term empath narcissist relationship, it's very toxic and destructive. And once again, the narcissist is just using, and the A word, they're using, and the other word in front of the using. And the empath is just on the, you know, receiving all that and like being so self-sacrificing, and it's just not cool. Like, you know, and then it's just that whole cycle of violence with the love bombing stage, the devaluation stage, and then the escalation. And this is pretty draining, just to talk about it. And then, you know, the empath is trying to break codependency, and the empath is the one who really grows, you know. In the end too, it's like, not saying the narcissist can't, but I feel like they would have to face this collapse. And then with I feel like when the empath too leaves narcissist, we're, you know, and also in a state of like, it's like this cloud where like you can't, it's like everything becomes blurry for the empath, I feel like. And while the narcissist is collapsing, you know, they're masking a lot. And like I said, it's just up to that person, but usually they just can't go on to continue that negative cycle. And then it's up, you know, and then to the empath, it's like, once you've walked away, empath, once you've walked away, divine feminine, divine masculine, divine being, like chosen one, once you've walked away, then you're just like in this cloud, and it's blurry, and it's like you're a pilot, and you're like flying a plane for the first time, and you're in pilot school, and you're learning how to fly, and you're just in all these clouds, and you can't see, you know, like you just can't see, but you're going. And that's like the, what do you call it, the analogy that I could best think of it as. It's like you're doing something you've never done. You know, flying a plane is different than driving a car. It's different than running or walking. It's like the next step up from walking, you know. And you're in the air, and you're like navigating this new way of life, and you can't see up from down because you're in the air. Like, you just, I don't know, that's just what I'm seeing. So it's equal and opposite, you know, reactions. But once again, I think because of the fact that there's like more narcissists out there than empaths, you know, unfortunately, fortunately, you know, empaths have had to resort to ways of distance, you know, meeting people on social media, online. Like, social media can be a toxic thing. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking those breaks of social media or doing things to keep yourself safe, divine feminine, empath. But then it's like at the same time, going to forums or online communities, social media to connect with others who are like you in a positive way. And, like that sense of community is like what the empath needs to rebuild. And, then eventually, finding those people per the universe, slowly bringing them in, as the empath is learning to trust again, to break codependency and so forth. So we have the nine of cups in reverse. This could be very frustrating for you, divine feminine, because you know the power you hold, how you've had to stand on your own for so long, go up against groups of narcissists, because there's, like I said, I keep saying, there's a lot more of them out there. Groups of narcissists, or just a narcissist and their group of flying monkeys, group of karmics. We've seen that, like groups, like coming up against one, because empaths are very powerful. And a lot of the thing is that empaths just don't realize their power. That's the thing. It's like untapped potential. A lot of untapped potential. And that's why, as the empath is growing up, a lot of people try to dim their light early on so they don't ever realize that potential. And then once the empath becomes an adult, they usually get in some type of relationship. And then, the narcissist and their family, or narcissists and their friends, or whoever their flying monkeys are, co-workers, neighbors, I don't know. Yeah, and it's like whoever they can get to like be on their side. And it's all rooted in lies, mind you. And like no one realizes this until way later, when the empath is created distance with the narcissist, and then everyone realizes like the truth, whether they say it. Most times they won't say it to the narcissist's face. Like no one really speaks, because the narcissist is very hostile. Okay, your ex-lover is in this very hostile energy. Page of Wands. Yeah, they're just like up to their no good tactics. I feel like they're trying to come up with a hoovering tactic right now to block your throat chakra and so you won't tell your side of things. And then I feel like divine feminine and empath, you've learned that you don't even have to voice. You don't have to use your throat chakra literally with your voice. Like you can speak through your actions, because actions speak louder than words. So Queen of Pentacles, so you're just in your stability is speaking for itself. So one of my favorite quotes, since I was a teenager, or even middle school, I don't even know when I saw it. I think it was probably middle school or just going into high school. Necessity is the mother of invention, which is kind of like saying if there's a will, there's a way. Like, so you're like, okay, well, if they don't want me to actually speak, I'm gonna just show it by how I live, okay? And I feel like that's what you've been doing, but it's like you're tired of like trying to dip and dodge for the narcissist. Like I feel like your root chakra is becoming more secure now. If you've been away from the narcissist for a while, and you've been like on your journey for a little bit, and I mean a little bit by at least, I'm gonna say, if you've been on your journey for at least, I'm not even gonna say 6 months, I want to say actually 6 months to a year. So if you've been separated from your ex-partner, lover, or whatever, false twin flame, karmic, whatever you want to call them. Because I'm like, honestly, I can't even say, I gotta say a year. Because if it's been 6 months or less, you're still in it. Like, I just know. You're still in it, divine feminine. Like, if you're watching this video and you have not left the situation, or if it's been less than 6 months, like, the fact that you're out, like, that is amazing. And that is just awesome. Just keep on it, because yeah, the first 6 months is like really hard. But yeah, once you get to that year, it's like that's when the fog starts lifting. That's why I think of it like a pilot, like you're flying in clouds, and I'm pretty sure there's turbulence and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's like the fog is finally like starting to lift, like, and then year 2 is like that's why when this person on their channel was like, give it 5 years, give it 10 years, because like you just don't even realize how much you were not seeing empath. Like, OMG. Like I knew I had to get this video out, because when I heard that, it was like, and in a way, like, you know, with any niche that starts becoming popular, there's a lot of channels that come out about it, and I was like, I wasn't even looking for the typical narcissist channel. Like, I was looking for really like the niche within the niche type stuff. And I started finding like different people who were like really honing in on, like, you could tell like these people have been through it themselves, and they're like really honing in on like the really intricate details of these situations, and like you could tell this person was the real deal. And yeah, they were like it years, and I'm like, and I've also been watching this other channel. Like, these are popular channels, but you know, some of them you do have to search for them. And this other channel I've been watching for like coming up on 2 years now, this one channel, and I'm like, how can this person keep I was, in a way, I was kind of like, what do you call it? Like, I was in disbelief about how they could still keep posting content about the narcissist and stuff. I'm like, this is kind of like a broken record or whatever? Like, you just talking about the same thing over and over. Like, same thing with this whole collective stuff. It's like, it's the same energy coming out, but it's always a little hidden gem in there. Like, I didn't watch this channel for like, let's say 6 to 8 months. I come back on the channel, I'm like, what is this now? Is that now? Like, it's like new discoveries, because like, you know, who knows who needs to hear this? Like, a lot of people, you know, they make YouTube channels for themselves to get as an outlet, you know, and to get the message out there to help someone else. And that's part of the reason why I do this channel, like, you know, to spread awareness about narcissism, empaths, because it ties into spirituality, the twin flame journey, blah blah blah, divine feminine, divine masculine. And when I started my first tarot channel, this stuff was like just becoming pop. Like, it was barely really like anybody making videos. So like, when I was making videos, my videos were like going, for lack of a better word, like they were getting numbers like faster than normal, because like now, like, it's saturated to the point where like you gotta just really just be about it. But like, I wasn't even really trying that hard, you know. What was it, like 6 years ago I started my first tarot about this same stuff, and I was doing divine masculine, divine feminine readings. And now a lot of people do the long 1 hour plus 2 hour videos. I was doing that when nobody was doing it, you know. And like, that channel, like, the page is still up, but all the videos are deleted. But yeah, I was doing that, and like, I was getting like, you know how people say like, you weren't, yeah, like, when you're starting a channel and like something saturated, like, you know, you'll just get like a few views here and there. But I was getting like hundreds of views on every video, and I had just started my channel. Like, I had like 4 videos at one point, and it was over like 2,000 views, and in like a week. And I was just, honestly, I was so surprised, because I was just like, what? And I was so surprised, and I wanted to keep going, of course, but life happened. And now I'm back at it again in the saturatedness of YouTube. And honestly, like, I'm so, you know, and I used to say to myself, you know, part of my little blip about me before I continue, what was I saying? I started that first tarot channel around the same time a lot of channels started, and like they're so huge. Oh my gosh, like those, it's like the FOMO, like oh my gosh, some of these channels are so big. They're some of the biggest channels because they started when it was like nobody, and I started the same. But yo, it was haters, man. That's all I gotta say, haters, because I was like, oh my gosh, like if I would have kept going with my channel, like I was not even trying, I'm telling y'all. It was just something I was passionate about, and my videos were like starting to go viral, and I'm like, what in the world? I was like so happy. I was like, and that's the thing, I was like, I wasn't even saying it to like a lot of people. Like I always had a small circle, and it was just like I was just so happy. And then like 6 months later, just shot, like oh my gosh. But anyway, like it was just, I just think back on that because yeah, like a lot of people don't, see their potential. And at that time, like I was really young. I'm still young, but like I just was younger, and like, like I was in the middle of my awakening, and like I was on my own journey, and I was just starting to film about it. And like, but then I started watching, right before I filmed this video, I watched, the Think Media channel, and he had talked about how he had several or a few failed, not really failed, but a few other channels that didn't make it until the one that made it. And there's a story for each of those channels, and that same thing has happened with me, where I've had several channels, and maybe you've had several things that you've tried to pick up Divine Feminine. And that's what I'm getting. And I made a video about this about maybe like 8 or 9 months ago, where like something that you've attempted in the past, you're re-attempting. So yeah, we have 7 of Wands in reverse. So it's like you're tearing down those walls, Divine Feminine, because it's something that you could have been like, what is the word? Resentful about, because of, like I feel like with this, we deal with jealousy in life, and your ex-lover could have definitely been jealous of your journey. And that's one thing, with this moth to a flame concept, Divine Feminine, twin flame. I'm trying to get back to the twin flame energy. It's hard to not talk only about narcissism and only about, because they're literally like parallel. And anyway, so back to just using twin flame terms. Anyway, back to 6 years ago, I didn't know anything about empath, narcissist, nothing. So that just goes to tell you that knowledge makes a difference. But anyway, so yeah, Divine Feminine, like the narcissist, oh my gosh, what am I saying? Your ex-lover, your false twin flame, was like jealous of your journey and the light that you hold. So like your light irritated their demons. We got the Emperor. So they love bombed you, coming in like they were the Emperor, gonna do X, Y, and Z, and like that's another thing, Divine Feminine, like this person really played like, and that's the thing about these narcissists, these false twin flames that chose dark, like they really believe their own delusions. And so they could have really thought, like they were so believable because they believed in their delusion so much. So of course you believe them, and they were trying so hard, and now we know this is love bombing. But it's like the narcissist, ex-love or whatever, they tried so hard, and it's like they play in your face so hard, and so it's like hard to not believe it from the other side. And that's why they have so many flying monkeys, and they can recruit all these people against you and blah blah blah, because they literally try so hard and play in your face so hard. It's like, it's so believable. Like they are stars in the play, like their own play. And like in reality, Divine Feminine, you are the main character, and they tried to steal that light and try to act like, you know, Three of Pentacles, they're working with you, but it's really Three of Pentacles in reverse. It was never going to work. They were never going to come in like the Emperor, but they tried so hard, but they're really the Emperor in reverse. That's why in the beginning of the reading, we got Strength in reverse. They're a manipulative dictator, and, you know, Spirit, the universe, the planets, whatever, gave them an opportunity to change. Multiple opportunities. And like I said, I feel like this has been like a thing that's just been like evolving with time in society, as, you know, mental health becomes less stigmatized, different relationship dynamics, just everything, just as the knowledge comes to light about this, like about this niche, and in particular spirituality, alchemy. We got Five of Wands in reverse and the Fool, like, and then they keep coming to you with this energy like they don't want to fight with you. Five of Wands, but this is all that they're gonna do. And that's what they did in the beginning too. Like, but it's like, why should there be a Five of Wands to begin with? Like, why is there a Five of Wands in reverse? Like, but it's because they know that they messed up. The Fool, like, they want to start and take a new leap of faith. This is crazy. And they're still so delusional to this day, a lot of them. Like, that's the kicker. Eight of Cups in reverse, they don't want you to lead. Hoovering. Yeah, this is like a narcissist empath reading. We got the Sun in reverse, the Magician. They're not happy, so they're up to their manipulative tactics. Anyway, so the title of the video, they broke the contract, what now? So yeah, you're just moving forward, you know, navigating the turbulence in the air, the fog, the clouds are, you know, going away slowly but surely, but it's a very slow and gradual process. You know, Divine Feminine empath, you could have built a lot of resentments, you know, toward this person. And I just want to say this too, like, there's channels out there that cater to, that have a more positive light, like, oh, they're gonna get back together, he realizes what they've done, da 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 da. Like, there's those ones, and then there's ones where it's like bashing them really bad. I'm like in the middle where it's like I see their side, but I'm also not gonna be so like delulu that like they're gonna they're realizing they're gonna come back to you, Divine. And look, there's nothing wrong with those channels, and I watch those channels too. I watch the bashing ones, and I'm just the one in the middle. I've always Divine Feminine, you could have had a Divine Masculine or ex-Divine Masculine who said like you can't pick sides. They could have wanted you to pick sides. Look, Three of Pentacles. They wanted you to pick, or they could have had their flying monkeys or whoever in the background, friends, people that they overshared to, wanting you then to pick sides. And they had this whole strength in numbers mentality. But they know you're the strong one. They were looking to you. You were their spiritual teacher. I'm getting High Priestess, Hierophant energy. And so you are the High Priestess. I mean, now you're the Empress, okay? But you've always been the High Priestess. And they tried to come to you like this Emperor, like this Hierophant. Look, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, trying to offer this stability to you. And it's like, honestly, Divine Feminine, don't even be mad at yourself. Don't beat yourself up or nothing, because like you were just coming from a place of love, and you're on the good side of karma. And that's the difference between you and your ex-lover, between you and this karmic masculine. Now this karmic masculine, your ex is the Knight of Swords, trying to get information about you. They're probably watching their own spirituality videos, trying to get knowledge, because secretly, not so secretly anymore, even though they got their supply and they're still trying to keep up that mask of a life that looks good on the outside, they're empty inside. They're like empty voids, and they're trying to find something to fill it. So all they know is their old ways, so they're still doing what they do, but I feel like behind the scenes they're like obsessively looking for information, looking up the twin flame journey, but at the same time they're not going about it the right way. They're not taking accountability the right way. It's like this is what they really want, and that's why it's upright, because they really want the accurate information, but it's like they don't want to do what it takes to get there. And so then they're mad, and they project this onto you, Divine Feminine, or onto their new supply or the flying monkeys or whoever, because they know they've already gotten enough information to know what it takes, because you said it to their face. The universe has tried to show them. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, we got the High Priestess in reverse. You know, they tried to make you think you weren't a High Priestess, trying to flip it back on you with the gaslighting, the covert manipulation. So, right. And, yeah, Queen of Swords. And now you're coming up Queen of Swords upright. You had to just Queen of Swords this person. Tell them, like, you told them what it, like, you were, I feel like even in the relationship toward the end, like, you were Queen of Swords upright. And then you had to become Queen of Swords in reverse and, like, be very distant and have very strict boundaries, which you didn't want to do. Like, you still have love for the narcissist now. That's why I'm like, I'm in the middle, because it's like, this person is sad. Like, this situation is sad, and it's really, and it's because you had so much love, and they know that, and so they try to take advantage of it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. They know you had this love and compassion for their potential, so they wanted you to, like, hold on to the fact that they could change, and then they were gonna actually, in their mind, I'm not gonna ever change, I'm just gonna make them think, string them along. But no, you got the gig. The jig is up. The gig is up. Whatever. Like that. We already know. Like, we gotta be away from you. You know? Like, look, Two of Wands again. So yeah, you're like in this Two of Wands energy, Divine Feminine. Yeah. Where it's like you have this vision and you're just waiting for things to clear. And it's taking longer than you want it to. But I'm hearing trust the process. We got Queen of Cups. This is beautiful energy. Divine Feminine. So it's like just giving that cup to yourself. And this person is holding a cup. And it's overflowing. And it's flowing down. And then it's flowing back up and on to her. So it's like you're just letting that cup just run all over you, you know, for lack of better phrasing. Like, you're giving all that love to yourself, and, you know, they're mad because, like I said, the empath is the winner at the end of the day. I don't even see how they're not. And then it's funny because empaths don't even see it as being the winner. And the narcissist is all about competition and winning and losing. So it's just so, like, ludicrous how the tables have turned. And the tables only turn when you leave, Divine Feminine. Don't think staying and thugging it out is going to do anything, because, really, at that point, the narcissist is winning. Because if you stay, that's like them winning. But when you leave, you won, Divine Feminine, okay? And you don't even see it like a competition. They see it like a competition, like a game. They're playing with your life. Period. They're playing with your life. And they think it's funny until you leave. And give them that ego death. So, like, that's why it's really important that you leave. And that whole coming and reconciliation and la la la, it's just love. Like, at this point, this is my channel. So I'm like, those channels that reconciliation, that reconciliation is with somebody new. Like, I don't even see how you reconcile. Like, that person, like, pigs are gonna fly before they do that. Like, and like the person said on that channel from the beginning of this video, give it 5 years, give it 10 years. I would even say that for the narcissist. Like, who's gonna wait around 5 years, 10 years for the narcissist to realize they're a narcissist, have the collapse, all the therapy, this and that? It's like, you would have to have your guard up. And then there are videos about reconciling with the narcissist, how to keep your boundaries up, how to play their game. And because there's people who want to, you know, still engage, and then they try to give ways to healthily engage, and that's just too much work, honestly. Like, that's a lot of work. It's like and then you risk being like falling back into the trap, and that's just too much work when you've already done so much work. But that could be still beneficial for if you like are forced into some type of interaction with the narcissist still, and you like can't control getting out, or like your safety is still, you know, a thing, and, you know, a concern. But you know, if you're out, I feel like staying out. And but then of course the narcissist tries to come back. Like I said, like, those videos are still essential too, because, you know, the narcissist will try to come back, and like, sometimes there really isn't anything you can do except for hold your ground, or be like forced to interact, especially if there's like family involved, or children involved, or close mutual friends, like mutual associations, a job, just environment. Like, sometimes you really just can't avoid it. But then the whole reconcile happily, I mean, to each their own. And like I said, give it 5 years, give it 10 years. That's my stance, okay? Give it 5 years, give it 10 years. But if you want your ex-lover to come back in 1 to 3, 4 years, for the collective I'm reading for, okay, you know, maybe you go 1, 3, 4 years and you happen to still be single. But then it's like, once a narc, always a narc. And I feel like if you were this specific narc's catalyst, let them change, and for the next see, my voice is okay. I think that's a gem. Let them change for the next person, because we're not gonna just write these people off and say they're doomed. But it's like, if that narc was your catalyst and you were that person's catalyst, then it wouldn't be, what am I trying to say? Like, it wouldn't suffice for you to go back to them. Like, they would have to like get all the tools and then give it to somebody else. Because going back to you would, like, their brain, like, all that would just come rushing back, and like, they would go back to their old ways. Like, you would, like, come on, like, you know. And sometimes, like, the situation is such a wash that, like, yeah, I'm just gonna reiterate, like, sometimes it's just such a wash. Like, if you know that you were each other's catalyst, it's better to just move on. Like, or just have a very strict boundary with that person. Like, you could never be like the same dynamic, or it's just very rare that could like happen like that. Like I said, like, sometimes it's kind of like that whole thing before we even knew about this whole paradigm existing, that okay, you have that one bad ex, but it's like, you know that you would never go back to them, and even if they did change and stuff, like, you know that like you couldn't be the one to like be with them. Like, they would have to be with somebody else, because like the damage was just too much. And like, even if y'all, like, it would be a regression for both of you, like, not even just him, like, you too, all the work, like, it would just be like too much. So like, those relationships where like yeah, it was just too much. And even if it's like 5, 10 years later for that person in particular, 15 years, 20 years later, sometimes it's just too much water under the bridge. Like, they're gonna have to be happy with somebody else. And I mean, of course, if you want to be that person, okay. But I'm just saying, like, I would be saying in my channel, you know, and for me being like this mid ground as far as like idealization versus total like bashing never again, it's like, okay, like there is always a gray area, and sometimes some stuff is just like too much water under the bridge, like really, like it's just too much that has transpired to where both of that healing will be like unraveled, if you will, you know. So okay, that's what I was trying to say with that. So yeah, I feel like I've answered, you know, the theme of the video. I didn't even use all the decks I had out. I just used the number deck and 3 decks. I don't even want to go into this oracle because I have to always get the book. I have to kind of learn that one more. Excuse me. But okay, Spirit, so let's get some lasting messages for the collective out of this self-made deck and my self-love, self-care deck. So let's get a few cards from here. So Spirit, what lasting advice does the collective need to know? Duh. So you got duh. Okay. So what is so obvious? What is so obvious? What is so obvious? Your crown chakra could be like popping right now, Divine Feminine. It says question, sacrifice in reverse. Yeah. So you're no longer going to be like a sacrifice, you know. Yeah, like the last card out of the tarot was Queen of Cups. And one day, this is what I was just talking about, one day in reverse. Like, there's no one day ... that you're going to like magically come back together with this person. Because with sacrifice, look, one day in reverse and sacrifice in reverse. So like, if you were to be like 15, 10 years, 5 years later, trying to like come back with this person, one day you will still be a sacrifice. Like you, like there's no, it's whoever I'm reading for. Spirit is telling me, and that's the duh. Like, no questions asked. Like, whoever I'm reading for, because, like, I'm telling you, I'm organically channeling this section in particular, and it's like, getting back with this person, no matter how much time goes by, you're still going to be a sacrifice. There's not going to be that 6 of Pentacles equal give and take, because no one should be the sacrifice. If anything, you're both sacrifice. Like, you will not, like, you will be sacrificing yourself for this person, and everything will unravel. Like, it's just not cool to, like, in any capacity. And that was my last. Okay, that's going back to my last video. Thank you, Spirit. I love how my videos are going sequential now. Cycles. My last video was titled, "You Cannot Be Cool with This DM in Any Capacity." The collective who I'm reading for, it will just be a cycle. Like, I'm telling y'all, and let's just play devil's advocate. This masculine really did make some, like, for real changes. Okay, let's say 5 years, 10 years. Give it 5 years, give it 10 years. And I don't even mean to, like, make it funny, like, what this person was saying on their channel. Because that channel was the truth. Like, that channel is for real. And if you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen this person's channel, like, That shit go hard. Like, but anyway, I'm only like making it like light and like laughing about it because it's like because of the ludicrous aspect, the superfluous. What is that word? Superfluous. I don't know why that word is coming up because I don't, you know. Anyway, the superfluous aspect of it, that yeah, it's like, let's say devil's advocate. Okay, this masculine really did make some for real changes in the last 5, 10 years, 15 years. But like getting back with you would just, I'm telling you, like, I'm thinking, and I'm now it's like a psychological trigger that would happen that would like revert y'all back to this same cycle. I'm telling you. And that's on both ends. It's like you could basically, it's like all the healing was for what? For naught, like type stuff. Like all the healing that was done was for naught. So like empath, like, and I feel like they would like slowly start love bombing you. Like you would see the changes and then they'll start love bombing you again slowly but surely. And maybe they don't even realize the slippery slope that they're going down. And it's almost like in that case, empath, you, divine feminine, you would have to be the one to catch it because they're not going to catch it at that point. So during that stage, you would have to be the one to pull out. And if you don't, like, remove yourself at the right time, like, boom, you're back in it, like, full-fledged. And that is scary. So, yeah, some things are just better left in the past. And, you know, even if you get closure with this person or they come back and apologize and all that, whether it's authentic or not, let's just take that part out, like what their intentions are. Like I said, no matter what like I said in my last video, you cannot be cool with this divine masculine, karmic masculine, ex-lover in any capacity. Because any, like, oh my goodness. Because I'm telling you, spirit is like, I'm getting like this surge in my heart chakra and like a tickling feeling going up and down my heart chakra. And it's like, it'll affect your solar plexus because your solar plexus, yeah, because it kind of started right here and it went down here and it went back up. So like, yeah, it will be affecting your purpose. Because at that point, you probably be way into your purpose, and then your heart chakra and your solar plexus will be thrown off, and then all heck will break loose, and that's it. Like, you're back. I just saw protected. Your crown chakra is protected. Yeah, no intoxic. Like just no intoxic, because it'll just be a cycle. So that whole one day, it's in reverse because you're just gonna end up being a sacrifice. And yeah, that's pretty sad. But hey, rejection is spirit's protection. So, you know, years down the line, you may, like I said, you may still feel like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have, like, and this person could feel this way, like, oh, I wish I could get the, like, they probably getting better, I don't know, doing whatever to get you back, divine feminine, but they really gotta do it for them. And even if they do, like, forget about you in their mind, and then they try to, first of all, you're unforgettable, they're never gonna forget about you, but let's say they really just kind of put things aside and try to get better or get better in some way. They confident and on go in reverse. So yeah, confident and on go in reverse. So yeah, this isn't written in yellow. I don't know if it could be seen on camera, but solar plexus and on go in reverse. So yeah, like once you're in your purpose, like there's no going, like this wouldn't be a go, like this wouldn't like be like happening, like it's not, it's over. TF, the fudge nugget. I don't even know how much to cuss or not cuss on here. I've seen it all, but I don't know. Like, I haven't really been cussing that much lately, even in person, like, even in my life. You already know this person. So, yeah, this is talking about your, this could be twin flame. I mean, either one. So, yeah, TF, you already know this person. So, yeah, like, getting back with your twin flame. Usually, like I said, if you don't end up staying with your twin flame, you end up learning to become in union with yourself. And yeah, usually like twin flame cycles are just really tumultuous and, you know, D&G. So like you have this like designer type love, this is affection that's like limited, it's very like high value. And yeah, in a way, it's like you're that supply that they could never really replicate again, even if they get close to it. There's only one you, and even if they do like get better and find somebody, and it's like you will always be that one that got away. There we go. Like in that whole like typical relationship story, you would be the one that got away, that they'd be telling their grandkids one day, like, oh, this is the person that wow, we got sacrificed again. Yeah, like I feel like with this sacrifice being written in blue, I wrote them in different colors because of chakras. So in this last sacrifice card was written in red. So like your root chakra will be sacrificed. Your stability in all like aspects will be sacrificed going into this, attempting to go back into this. But later in life, for the narcissist, you're the one that got away. So like this being throat chakra energy, them like trying to sacrifice you or sacrificing you in the past will be their truth, that you're the one that got away, and now they have to sacrifice, they have to live with the fact that you're not in their life like ever again. And that's throat chakra energy, and that'll end up being their truth, is that they will never have you, and that's the sacrifice. Ooh, that hit hard. So like the sacrifice for the narcissist will be throat chakra, because they've been trying to repress your throat chakra all this time, repress your truth. And so going forward, their truth will be never having you, always remembering you, always thinking about you being the one that got away. And then in a way, like it would break them, like it will break them, because they tried to break you and your stability, your root chakra, your sense of self, your sense of safety, your sense of security. They tried to break that down and destroy it, all for their benefit, all for their, gain. And their sacrifice will be like, it will break them and choke them up and cause multiple narcissistic collapses to even talk about you in the way that you should be talked about. Because they know in their heart, even if they never admit it to anyone, they know in their heart what you were, who you are, and what they've lost. And that is throat chakra energy right there. That's deep. That's deep, spirit. Oof, I'm getting the chills. Yeah, we got 750 plus credit score. You are A1 divine feminine. Just never forget that on your journey. I think that's the lasting advice as well. Let's get one more of these. I'm gonna just take one that flies out, but if not, then it is. I'm trying to just, okay, too many. Oh wow, we gotta move on. Making changes in reverse. Okay. Throat chakra. OMG. Their throat chakra is gonna be blocked. Basically, that's their karma too. because they tried to block your throat chakra. I said one more, but I'm just, oh my gosh. Time will tell. Throat chakra energy again. I am, ooh, on point, baby. Oh my god, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Narcissist. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, switching up. Yeah, so basically the advice is like, you already know, like there's, okay, that's the good thing about you, Divine Feminine. They big sad. I put sadly, but yeah, they big sad. I mean, instead of mad, you know, because they're all going to be sad. Like they're going to, you know, they're going to come with this aggression, or they have come with this aggression. But in reality, they're sad inside. Their inner child is moping, but oh well, because they try to put on this brave face, this macho persona, when they're not, they're insecure inside. So that's the thing. Oh yeah, before I close out, Divine Feminine, that's the easy thing about your healing, is that their story will never change. I mean, for the most part, their story will never change. Like, you know, their motive, like what their whole plot is, like, it's so easy to see. That part is easy to see, but it's like healing and going forward, yes, that part is like moon energy, right? But it's like, but then for you, like on their end, they can't really read you. It's like, yeah, they may know you're caring, loving, empathetic, nurturing, blah blah blah, but you're the one that they can't read. They don't know your next move. That's the thing. That's the difference between you and the narcissist, between you and your ex-lover, this karmic masculine. You know that their agenda, they don't know yours. They know from the past, but that stuff's not working anymore because you evolved, and they think everything is like some type of calculation to figure out. It's not. And so, you know, they could stalk you, they could do all this stuff, get information, hoover, get other people to go fish for info. They could do everything they want, but it won't be authentic. Like, you living authentically is your protection. And the fact that you are protected because your intentions are pure, that is your protection. Like, that is your shield, is your authenticity and the spiritual protection you have because your intentions are good and you're on the right side of karma. So you have that natural universal law protecting you and protecting your journey. They don't have that protection. So that's the difference, and that's your lasting advice, Divine Feminine, is you really don't have anything to worry about. I mean, you really don't in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, you don't have anything to worry about. But like, I know from day to day, like things could get hard, things could get up and down, week to week, month to month, but in the grand scheme of things, you're good. Like, you're good. But like on a date, like I said, like just when, like, you know, life is just going on, you know, like things could seem really hard in the moment, or like you're not making any progress, like you're just scratching the surface, but you're really making so much progress. Like, sometimes you just have to like take yourself out of the situation and like realize everything that you've encountered and made it out on the other side. So I guess I'm done there. Let's get a couple cards from the self-care deck. And this is a double-sided deck. So, we got change. I wasn't really looking, I just stopped. So we got change. A resistance to change is a resistance to life itself. Open your heart and mind to new beginnings. So yeah, it's like you moving on and never thinking of having this person again in that capacity is the change, I feel like, Divine Feminine, that you need to embrace. That regardless of you wanting it, it's not in your highest good to have it. Even if they were to make said changes. For who I'm reading for, just to reiterate, my channel, I feel like, at least right now, because we did get the card, time will tell, but for right now, and the energy I've been getting for like the last, I'm gonna say like month and 2 months since I've been kind of like channeling this, is that, you know, don't wait around for this energy ever. Like, just, so like accepting this change and not resisting it, and just fully embracing in the beginning, like not looking back in the rearview mirror. Like, don't look back for nothing. And when I tell you don't look back for nothing, Divine Feminine, for nothing, don't look back. And yeah, let's get one more. I'm not even shuffling fast enough to even get them. Okay. Too many. Okay, I'm gonna have to just stop again. Okay, here we go. Priorities. So it says, the quality of your life is determined by how you spend your time. Make sure your schedule reflects the life you want. Yeah, because it has calendars, priorities. So change and priorities. So just embracing the change of like, this person is like, just get them out the forefront. That's why I said get them out the forefront, because like, in the way, like, you know, you don't really forget about significant traumas in your life either, but you learn to live with them. You learn to evolve and embrace a new beginning, like it says in the card. And so that's the lasting self-care, self-love advice, is to just prioritize. You know, you don't know, you're in this Two of Wands energy, Divine Feminine. You're Queen of Cups, Two of Wands, and you have this new beginning that you've already embarked on, okay? And you're still in this fog. So Spirit is saying, just keep moving forward. Just taking one step at a time, one small step at a time, and prioritizing. So this could be, even with the picture on the card, could even be a sign to start documenting things on paper. Like, instead of like trying to keep it all in your head or trying to remember things, even if you are good at remembering whatever, it's best to just have it written down or like document it somewhere, because then you can, like, you know, see, like, map it out. Like, specifically calendars, like marking things in your calendar and then checking it off to like show yourself your accomplishments, because it can be easy to just get things done and then not feel like we've done enough. And I feel like that's a common problem outside of this whole thing we're talking about. Just in general, people think, you know, there's always something more to do, something that has to be done, accomplished, achieved, and we don't give ourselves enough credit. So it says, make sure your schedule reflects the life you want. So if there's, you know, think about the things you want to achieve in your life, and just slowly start doing things to reflect that. That's really good advice. That's really good, Spirit. And we got this card at the bottom of the deck. I'm just self. I just decided to get it, and it's like this person's letting themselves out of this cage, and it says, if beating yourself up worked, you'd be thin, rich, and happy. Try loving yourself instead. Wow. Yeah, so it's like you could have spent a lot of time, and like I mentioned, you know, just before, being in your head a lot. So like putting things on paper and giving yourself credit for your small accomplishments, like on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. You have the calendar and it says this month. So just daily, weekly, and monthly, like that daily routine, your weekly routine, monthly routine. So spirit is reducing it down to that. Like that's like your takeaway, divine feminine, is to prioritize yourself and be open to change and like truly starting to put this behind you. Spirit recognizes how difficult this is to encapsulate this in your mind and like move forward, because catalyst, and this situation is like, we tend to overanalyze. You could have gone through, or you could be going through analysis paralysis. Like, you're not the problem. It's not you, it's them. It really is them, divine feminine. It's not you. You're on the right side of things here. Like I said, you're on the right side of karma. You have divine protection. Your crown chakra is protected. Like, you're living your authentic life. And really, you just keep moving forward and like working on reducing your stressors and your routines. I feel like is like it's like taking things back to the basic. There's like not some grand thing you need to be doing right now. I'm hearing from spirit, like just your routine. It's like you're learning how to break those codependency bonds, whether it's been years or months. It's like spirit is like we're still building that new foundation, and it does take you a long time. Years is what I'm hearing, like not even months. Like, so yeah, I feel like overall this was a beautiful message. You're definitely going to be tapping into some sacral chakra energy, since I have my chakra deck out, and it's double-sided as well, and there's a sacral chakra card at the top, and I feel like as you build this new routine, and it's organic, and so yes, it does come from creativity, because this really is a new way of life that you're trying to live. And yeah, take it one day at a time. And this is Bree with Reason Rituals. See you next time. Bye.